When most people dream of Italy, they picture the Colosseum, gondolas in Venice, or Florence's golden light. But Italy holds a secret, many secrets in fact. Far from the crowds and guidebooks are places where the world feels softer, slower, almost unreal. Imagine abandoned villages frozen in time, emerald lakes hidden in mountain cradles, towns where no cars are allowed, and silence is sacred. In these corners of Italy, you don't just see beauty, you feel it. These aren't postcard places. These are places that live and breathe, whisper and wait. Let's step off the beaten path into a world carved by time, myth, and dreams. These are 25 of the most dreamlike escapes in Italy, and most travelers will never find them. One, Civita di Bagnoregio, the dying city. Perched atop a crumbling cliff in central Italy, Civita di Bagnoregio appears like a mirage in the mist. Linked to the outside world only by a narrow footbridge, this ancient village floats above the valley like a forgotten fortress. The sound of your footsteps echoes on cobblestone paths where time has slowed to a whisper. Shuttered windows and ivy-covered walls speak of centuries past. There are no cars, no crowds, just the soft breeze, the bell tower's toll, and a timeless silence. The few residents live as if untouched by modern life. As the surrounding hills erode year by year, Civita stands, fragile, proud, and dreamlike. Two, Lake Riccia, the sunken church. In South Tyrol, near the Austrian border, stands a lake unlike any other, where a lone church steeple rises from the water. Beneath the surface lies the drowned village of Curon, submerged after a dam was built in 1950. In winter, the lake freezes and visitors walk across ice to touch the steeple's cold stone. In summer, it reflects the Alps like a silver mirror, eerie and calm. There are no ruins to explore, only a ghostly beauty that feels suspended between worlds. The bell has long since been removed, but some say they still hear it ring through the... 3. Castelmezzano, village among the stones. Hidden in the Lucanian Dolomites of southern Italy, Castelmezzano clings to jagged rock formations like a bird's nest in stone. The peaks loom like petrified giants, guarding the village's winding streets and red-roofed homes. Here, the modern world seems to fall away. Hike the Path of the Seven Stones, where legend and landscape blur, or soar on the Flight of the Angels zipline between peaks. A surreal moment of weightlessness. At sunset, golden light paints the cliffs and silence blankets the valley. Castelmezzano is not just a village, it's a dream carved in stone. Tyrol, the sleeping hamlet by the sea. Along the Ligurian coast, not far from the famous Cinque Terre, lies a fishing village untouched by fame, Tyrol. Its pastel buildings tumble into the sea, narrow alleys twist like labyrinths, and the scent of salt and rosemary drifts on the air. Unlike its crowded neighbors, Tyrol breathes slowly. Fishermen mend their nets beneath faded shutters. Church bells echo through tunnels of stone. It's a place for quiet mornings, sea-washed thoughts, and evenings lit only by lanterns and stars. Tyrol doesn't ask to be noticed. It simply exists, perfectly still, perfectly real. 5. Krakow, the ghost town of Basilicata. Krakow rises like a phantom above the Lucanian hills, its abandoned homes and crumbling towers silhouetted against the sky. Once a thriving hill town, it was emptied after landslides and earthquakes drove residents away. Now, nature has crept in. Ivy coils through doorways, dust dances in empty rooms. Walking through Krakow is like stepping into a forgotten dream, where each stone holds a story, and silence is the loudest sound. Film crews come for its eerie beauty, but the soul of Krakow belongs to the wind, the past, and those willing to wander through its stillness. Six. Lago di Scano, the heart-shaped lake. High in the Abruzzo Mountains lies a lake that seems almost too perfect to be real, Lago di Scano. Viewed from above, its deep emerald waters form the shape of a heart, embraced by forested slopes and misty hills. The surrounding village is wrapped in legend. Locals speak of strange magnetic forces here. Some say compasses spin in confusion. Others speak of miracles. But standing at the water's edge, it's not mystery you feel, it's peace. Row a wooden boat beneath sweeping pines. Watch reflections of clouds drift across the surface. Let the stillness of Scano quiet the mind and fill the soul. Seven, Sant'Agata dei Goti, the village on a cliff. Imagine a medieval village suspended on a volcanic ridge where the stone houses rise directly from the rock. Sant'Agata dei Goti, just east of Naples, looks like it was built by the earth itself. Beneath its cliffside facade, winding alleys open to hidden courtyards, flower-covered balconies, and sleepy piazzas. At dusk, the village glows golden, a jewel balanced between past and present. Little known by tourists, Sant'Agata is a place where life moves in gentle rhythms. Morning espresso, midday silence, evening walks through streets that haven't changed in centuries. It doesn't ask to impress. It invites you to feel. Eight, Monte Isola, the island of silence. In the center of Lake Iseo, far from the buzz of Italy's tourist trails, rises Monte Isola, the largest lake island in southern Europe. No cars disturb its peace. Only bicycles and footsteps, olive groves, fishermen's cottages, and winding lanes lead up to a 600-year-old sanctuary overlooking the waters. Time here drips like honey. Women sit in doorways weaving nets. Church bells echo over glassy water. When the world feels too loud, Monte Isola answers with quiet. It's not just a place, it's a retreat into simplicity, slowness, and something sacred. Nine, Valle dei Mulini, the Valley of Forgotten Mills. Just behind the chaos of Sorrento's city streets lies a hidden ravine, overgrown, silent, and surreal. The Valle dei Mulini, or Valley of the Mills, is a lush gorge where abandoned stone mills are slowly being reclaimed by nature. Vines coil around ancient walls, ferns and moss blanket old staircases. Mist hangs in the air like breath. Once used to grind wheat, these buildings now stand as quiet ruins, holding echoes of a world that vanished. Seen from above, the valley feels like a secret pocket in time. A reminder that even in the most visited places, mystery still waits if you look down and listen. Alberobello, the town of true. In southern Puglia, whitewashed houses with conical roofs cluster like fairy tale huts. These are trulli, ancient dry stone dwellings built without mortar, each crowned with curious symbols and spires. Alberobello is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, yet parts of it still feel untouched by tourism. Wander the less traveled alleys, where cats nap in the sun and elders sit in the shade spinning stories. Inside a trullo, the world quiets. Thick walls keep the heat out and the hush in. This town is not a museum. Civita di Bagnoregio, the dying town in the sky. Perched atop a narrow column of rock, Civita di Bagnoregio seems to hover above the clouds. It's reached only by a narrow footbridge, rising like a thread to the heavens. The village is known as La Città che muore, the dying town, because erosion slowly eats away at the cliff beneath it. But inside, there is life, quiet stone lanes, archways draped with ivy. A single bakery filling the air with the smell of fresh bread. Every creak of an old wooden shutter, every chime of the bell tower tells you this place resists time. Standing at the edge of the cliff, the wind in your hair, you feel suspended between earth and sky, a forgotten jewel cradled by the clouds. 12. The Marmore Waterfalls. Man-made, yet majestic, tucked in the green heart of Umbria, the Cascata delle Marmore might just be the world's most beautiful artificial waterfall. Created by ancient Romans and standing 165 meters tall, it cascades in thundering tiers surrounded by dense forest. But its true magic is in the rhythm. The falls are turned on and off like a breath, part of an ancient water system still in use. When they awaken, the sound is immense. Mist swirls through the woods, rainbows flash in the sunlight. There's a moment when the water rushes free, and all you can do is stop and feel the power of nature, the genius of history, and the wonder of both woven together. 13. The painted village of Dozza. Hidden in the hills of Emilia-Romagna is a village turned canvas. In Dozza, the walls of every building are covered in murals, surreal, poetic, bold. Every 2 years, artists from around the world come to leave their mark, transforming this tiny town into a living museum. As you walk the cobbled lanes, the art surrounds you. Dragons climbing chimneys, dreamlike portraits gazing from balconies, abstract colors dancing across doors. At sunset, with golden light washing over the painted walls, Dozza becomes a dream you can walk through. It's not just beautiful, it's alive with imagination. "14. San Fructuoso Abbey, The Secret by the Sea." Accessible only by boat or a long mountain hike, San Fructuoso hides between forested cliffs on the Ligurian coast. At its center is an ancient Benedictine abbey, white stone rising from turquoise waters, flanked by nothing but waves and wilderness. Here, the sea whispers through stone archways. Fishermen pull their boats onto the beach beside the abbey steps. Inside, medieval tombs echo in the candlelight. And just offshore, beneath the waves, stands the Christ of the Abyss, a bronze statue of Jesus sunk beneath the sea, arms outstretched in the deep. San Fructuoso is a place you don't stumble upon, you seek it out. And when you arrive, it rewards your journey with silence, salt, and awe. 15. Castelluccio di Norcia, the valley that blooms. At the foot of the Apennines, in the remote heart of Umbria, lies a place where every summer the earth explodes into color. Castelluccio di Norcia sits above the Piano Grande, a vast plateau that turns into a natural mosaic of reds, blues, yellows, and violets during La Fiorita, the flowering season. Lentil fields bloom in surreal patterns. Wild poppies, cornflowers, and daisies stretch as far as the eye can see. The village, once damaged by earthquakes, continues to rise in resilience, its people carrying the rhythm of the land in their hearts. There's no ticket booth, no fences. Just you, the wind, and the colors of the earth whispering a quiet miracle. "16. Scano, the heart-shaped lake and soulful village. In the folds of the Abruzzo Mountains, a heart-shaped lake mirrors the sky. Lago di Scano is more than a romantic shape. It's a portal to a slower world. Above it lies the village of Scano, a cluster of slate roofs and stone stairways where old women still wear traditional black lace shawls. Wander its winding alleys and you'll feel something ancient. In every doorway, a story. In every glance, memory. The lake, still and reflective, cradles the village like a secret. When mist clings to its surface and church bells echo across the hills, time seems to kneel in reverence. "17. Sant'Agata dei Goti, the cliffside balcony of Campania. Sant'Agata dei Goti clings to a volcanic tuff ridge like a theatrical set frozen in time. From afar, its homes hang over the cliff like a tapestry of stone and shadow. From within, you'll find quiet courtyards, narrow stone paths, and doorways that haven't changed in centuries. It's a place where voices echo off old walls and ivy climbs untouched. You sip a local Falanghina wine under the arches of an old convent, listening to the town breathe. At sunset, the whole cliff glows amber, and you'll swear the town is floating between earth and air. "18. The Sword in the Stone, San Galgano Abbey. In Tuscany, between Siena and the sea, ruins of an ancient abbey stand open to the sky. San Galgano Abbey is roofless, exposed, and sacred. But nearby, in a small circular chapel, rests something even stranger, a real sword, buried in stone. Legend says a knight named Galgano thrust his sword into rock to renounce violence and devote his life to peace. The sword is still there, rusted, mysterious, and untouched for 800 years. Whether truth or tale, the air around it is thick with silence. The wind moves through the ruins like breath through lungs. This isn't just a legend, it's a moment, captured in time and still whispering through stone. 19. The Garden of the Monsters. Tommaso's Parco dei Mostri. Deep in Lazio's woodland lies a dreamscape carved from nightmares. The Garden of the Monsters was built in the 16th century by a grieving nobleman. Its statues are enormous, surreal and strange. A leaning house, a gaping mouth you can walk inside, giants locked in stone battle. Moss drapes over monstrous faces. Trees cast long shadows across cracked marble. The garden doesn't explain itself. It invites you to wonder. Children laugh as they climb the grotesque shapes. Adults pause, uncertain. But if you let it, the garden pulls you in. It doesn't feel like Italy. It feels like another world entirely, built from sorrow and imagination. "20. Civita di Arpino, Land of Ancient Voices. Civita di Arpino rests high above the Liri Valley, a place once home to the ancient Volsci people, older even than Rome. Its cyclopean walls are made of massive stones, fit together without mortar, still standing thousands of years later. Wander up to the Acropolis of Civitavecchia and place your hand on the warm, ancient stones. You'll feel the pulse of forgotten civilizations. The air is silent, except for the rustle of olive branches and the call of hawks. There are no crowds here, no tour groups, just you and the ghosts of history. In Arpino, past and present don't compete. They coexist quietly in 21. Isola Santa, the Ghost Lake Village. Hidden deep in the Apuan Alps of Tuscany, Isola Santa emerges like a secret whispered by the forest. Its stone houses reflect perfectly in the still, emerald waters of a reservoir lake, a scene so surreal it feels painted. Fog rolls through in the early morning, blurring the edges between dream and reality. Once abandoned, the village is slowly being restored, but silence still reigns. No shops, no sound but bird song and the distant rush of the river. Walk the mossy trails around the lake, and you may forget the world exists outside. Here, even time moves slower, almost as if it too has chosen to stay. 22. Pietra Pertosa. The flight between the rocks in Basilicata's Dolomites, Pietra Pertosa perches high above the clouds, its homes carved into bare rock like a stone beehive. The landscape is wild, jagged, almost lunar. From here, you can cross, literally fly, to the neighboring village of Castelmazzano on the Volo dell'Angelo, Angel's Flight. A zipline that sends you soaring between mountains. But long after the thrill fades, what lingers is the quiet. The village's alleyways are sculpted into stone, chickens cluck between olive trees. Grandmothers sit in doorways, stringing memories into conversation. Pietra Pertosa is where adrenaline meets stillness, and both stay with you. '23. The sunken bell tower of Reschensee in South Tyrol, an icy lake stretches across the valley. Rising from its frozen waters, a lone bell tower stands, haunting, surreal. This is Reschensee, and beneath its surface lies a drowned village sacrificed to a dam project in 1950. The church tower is all that remains above water, its spire piercing the silence. In winter, the lake freezes solid. You can walk right up to it. Locals say the bells still ring on cold nights, though they were removed decades ago. It's a place of eerie beauty, of loss preserved in ice. A place that asks, what do we bury in the name of 24? Krakow, Italy's real-life ghost town. Krakow stands empty, wind-blown, and crumbling atop a hill in Basilicata. Abandoned after landslides and earthquakes, it is now a ghost town, but one that feels alive with echoes. Its towers rise over a dry valley, its streets silent, its homes open to the sun and sky. Once full of laughter, markets and weddings, now just whispers and wind. Yet beauty remains. The cracked plaster glows in golden light. Olive trees still grow at the edge of town. Filmmakers come here for its haunting elegance, and travelers come for its stillness. Krakow doesn't hide its scars. It wears them like memory. "25. Nesso, the waterfall that divides a village. Along Lake Como, past the glitz and crowds, lies Nesso, a sleepy village stitched into steep cliffs. What makes it unreal is its natural heart, the Orrido di Nesso, a dramatic waterfall that splits the village in two. A Roman bridge spans the gorge, where torrents rush beneath ancient stone. Ivy-covered homes cling to the rock walls, their windows opening to cascading water. Here, locals live above the roar, tourists seldom stay, and the rhythm of life is slow, shaped by water, stone, and the setting sun. Nesso isn't just quiet, it's cinematic, serene, and impossibly real. From sunken towers to cliff-hung dreams, Italy's hidden places are not just destinations. They're emotions carved into stone, silence, and sky. They ask us to look closer, linger longer, and feel deeper. Which one called to your soul? Let us know in the comments. And if your heart is still hungry for wonder, subscribe. Because the world is wide, and the next dream is only a journey away.